right? Because when you watch a video, like, okay, I know the test, I know the things, but you only know when you actually mess it up. What did I do wrong? How can I do better, right? And then you improve, right? And in school, they teach us to not do mistakes, and they punish us when we do mistakes. But in this business, it's the complete opposite. You know, it's okay to do mistakes as long as you learn after. And actually, the best thing that I've learned in this business come from my mistakes, right? So as long as you're willing to learn and improve after your mistakes, it's okay to do mistakes in this business, right? So let's go get into the training. Before we start the training, I actually wanna share with you 3 steps, because I know a lot of people, like, I've listened to a lot of trainings, right? They know what to do. They've listened to all the information, but for some reason, they're still, you know, maybe can't achieve what they want, or they can't get the results. And I just want to share these 3 steps that I learned from Tony Robbins before we get into the training, because we think sometimes information is power, but the power is in applying the information, right? So when you learn something, you got to apply right away, even if it's not perfect, right? That's what I've done my whole career. I went to, you know, Daniel Dumacali's presentation for 7 years in a row. I never missed one. I went to Iron Faucet every single Thursday, never miss a presentation, never missed an Enagic training, never miss a training from the people that were having the results, right? Because that's how you learn, right? But only if you apply that knowledge, that information becomes power. So I learned these 3 steps from Tony Robbins to, you know, kind of like unlock your true power and to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, right? Because we all know we should do those actions, right? But Tony Robbins always talk about turning your shoulds into musts, right? That's a whole different game. When you turn your should into must, how many times have you heard someone say, I should be on a diet, and they never do it? Yeah, I should go to the gym, and they never go, right? Because when you say I should do something, you already give yourself, like, you're not gonna do it, right? Yeah, I should do it, but, you know, this and that, right? When you say I must do it, this is like a must. This is my standard. Like, I have to do it no matter what, and I gotta do it until I get it right, right? I keep changing my approach until I get it right. So that's a game changer, right? So number 1 is turn your shoulds into must. Number 2, and this is crucial for your success in whatever business you do, especially in Enagic, is understanding that you are the resource and you have to take responsibility for your own success. Because sometimes we're like, oh, you know, my upline is now helping me, you know, like, but this is your business, right? So your upline is not supposed to do it for you. It's supposed to help you and guide you and support you, obviously, but you have to take the action. And we can't teach you how to be hungry. We can't teach you how to have the desire to success, right? So you have to understand that whatever you are in life today, you drove yourself there. And once you do that, and you take full responsibility for your success, then you can also start believing that you can also take yourself out of that situation, because you are the pilot of your life, right? Wherever you are today is the result of the choices that you've made it every single day that compounded and took you where you were. And the same thing, the cool thing about that and taking responsibility is that once you understand that, it's so easy to get out of whatever situation you're in, because you're like, I am the only one responsible. I am in charge. I am the resource to change my life, right? So I can take myself out right away once you take responsibility. But a lot of people blame, oh, this happened to me, and the upline is not working, and they blame outside circumstances. So the number 2, we talk about, number 1, turn your shoulds into must. Number 2, understanding that you are the resource and taking responsibility for your success. And number 3, you have to believe that you can, because nobody can believe it for you, right? So you have to believe that you can do it, that you deserve a change, right? That you deserve the result that you want to achieve. So those are the 3 steps that I want to talk about before I get into like technical stuff, because without this, like, nothing I'm going to share is going to work, right? So we also heard, like, you know, I'm sure you heard this in your life, right? So as long as you don't quit, you will succeed, right? How many times we heard this quote, right? As long as you don't quit, you will succeed. Let me tell you, this is not true, because I know a lot of people that never quit, but they haven't succeeded yet. Why? Because it's true that obviously you never had to quit, but only if you get better every day, then you will succeed. And so one of the best thing about Enagic is, like, I think it's the best compensation plan in the world, because it pays you accordingly to the person that you are becoming, right? So the better person you become, the better leader you become, the more skills you learn, and the higher you go in this business. So I think the compensation plan is designed perfectly to build people, right? It's so powerful because like the more you learn, the more, you know, you go higher in the compensation plan, the better person you become, the better leader you become, and the further you go in the business. And a lot of people think like, oh, you know, like to grow my business, I need to sign up that person and then my business explode. If I sign up that person, all I need is like a couple of people. But maybe you want to write this down. I learned this from, you know, a lot of people, a lot of mentors, that we don't use people to build the business. We use the business to build people, right? This is a whole different approach, right? Because most people, all they're thinking is like, oh, if I sign up that person, then I'm earning money or I'm getting a commission, right? But when you switch it backwards, right, and we use the business to build people, right, you understand that Enagic is the vehicle for people to achieve their goals, right? And we use the Enagic business to change people's life, to help them become a better person, the better version of yourself in all the aspects. So look at me. I was just a busboy, broke busboy with no degree. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any money when I got here. Now, like I speak 4 languages. I've traveled all over the world. And when people ask me, like, you know, people think that the best part of success is when you earn money, but it's not. Like the best part of this business is the person that you become in the process, because that nobody can take it away from you. The skills that you learn and the person that you become, that nobody can take it away from you. And I will be forever grateful to Enagic, the leaders that we have, the mentorship that we had, because I wouldn't be here without that. That made me the person that I am today, and I feel so strong today because of all the things that I've learned in this business and because of all the people that I met in this business. So let's see. I got a lot of notes here. So we had to talk about how to attract people that want to do the business, and you know what to do when you get a new distributor, and how to have massive duplication in your organization. I think like a lot of people want to know that. So let's start with attracting people that want to do the business, right? Attracting like what we call business builders, right? There's a lot of things that I wanted to share with you because I've been like, you know, I've signed up a lot of people in this business, and I've helped a lot of people achieve 6A. And I want to share with you what I've done, and I hope this helped you. And by the way, I also want to share this before I go into the training. You'll probably hear, you know, different trainers talking about different things in different ways. That person does it that way. That person does it that way. Who should I listen to, right? And I remember I learned this from Daniel Dumacale. He always says, there's 1,000 ways to cook the chicken. As long as it tastes good, you're right. Right? So your job as a distributor is not like being like, oh, Gio told me to do that way, and that person do that. Who's right, who's wrong, right? Your job is like to learn from all the people that are having results, because whoever is having results is doing something right. And then you take what you like about every speaker that you listen to, and then you add a touch of your personality. That's what I'm doing to build my business, right? My whole career, I listen to everybody who had success in this company. I take notes, I listen to what they do, and I'm like, wow, I like that, I like that, I like that, and I implement. And whatever works for me, I kept it, right? And you know, and that's how after 9 years, you know, I built up my my business. I learned from all the top people, and I apply what I like of each one. And every single person has something to teach if they're having results. So make sure that you listen to whatever everybody that, you know, that is training. So let's talk about how to attract business builders. And some people might not like this part, because I hope I'm okay to tell you guys the truth. I think a lot of people need to hear that, and I think this is my secret to not only attract people that want to do the business, but one thing that I'm really proud of in my team is that all of our leaders stayed with us the whole time. Nobody ever left, right? For a very long period of time. And there's a reason why, because it's not only important to have people sign up with you, but it's also to stay with you and make a long-term plan, right? Because once you have a lot of people that work this business as a long-term plan, your business has a lot more stability, right? Than people coming in and out all the time, right? And there's a difference in just signing up people and making them stay. So how do you get people to stay in the business, right? A lot of people want to know that. Well, number one of the secrets to get people stay is prepare people for how hard the business is going to be, right? And a lot of people don't want to hear that, because like sometimes we think that to attract people, we need to tell them, hey, this is so easy. You don't have to do nothing. You know, all you have to do is do this, do that, and then you'll cash the checks, right? But we all know that that's not how the business works, right? This business, yes, it has a lot of potential. Yes, has an incredible product and an incredible compensation plan, but there's a lot of hard work to do. My first year, I made only 3 sales, and I worked really, really, really hard. So just because I work hard and I told everybody about it, I still didn't get the results. There was a lot of things that I had to change. My habits, the people I surround myself with, a lot of personal development that I had to do, right? There was a lot of things that until I've changed those things, nothing was going to happen for me, right? So even if I work really hard, so we have to prepare people for how the business is going to be, right? And yes, there's people that have quick success, there's people that have incredible story, but the reality is that the majority of people are going to be like me, right? It's going to take me a few years to get things together, right? And they need to be willing to work really hard during those years, right? To sacrifice a lot of things, to learn a lot of skills, become a leader, learn sales skills, learn social media, whatever they need to learn in order to succeed. And it's not going to be easy, right? So this is one of the key to attract people and stay for long. And I know, like, sometimes we think that if we promise like, oh, it's going to be easy, we're going to attract more people. But the people that look for easy things are not the ones that are ready to work hard. Because real people know, like the true entrepreneurs know that any business that you build, it takes time to build. You know, Rome was not built overnight, right? To become a doctor, you need to study 10 years. So to become a professional in Enagic, you also need to be 10 years in Enagic, right? And you have to learn a lot of things, right? The difference between someone that go to school and this program is that you can actually even earn a commission while you learn, if you do it right and if you listen to your upline and all those things, right? That's the difference, but it's still gonna be hard. So I always tell people, don't overhype the opportunity. Don't make them look as like too good to be true and all this stuff, because like what you're doing is actually pushing people away when you do that. So prepare people for how the business really gonna be. And if they have quick success, great, good for them. But I'd rather under promise and over deliver than over promise and under deliver, right? Because most people, like, they need to learn a lot of skills before they have success in this business. So when you prepare people for all the challenges they're gonna face, like, and for example, I faced a lot of challenge my first year, right? I got thousands of no's. A lot of people told me no, nobody was gonna buy from me. I burned all my contacts, right? But I kept going. So this might happen for other people, and if you don't prepare for them, after a few months they're gonna quit. But if they are prepared for it, they're like, oh, Gio prepared me for the, I know what's gonna happen after if I overcome those challenges, right? And yes, people join network marketing because they want financial freedom, they want all those things, and those, yes, those are achievable. But we all know that very few people get to that level where you have complete financial freedom and you have time freedom, you do whatever you want, and it takes years to build, right? So you have to be very upfront with people when you're making a plan, right? So when I sign up someone for the business, I always tell them, like, hey, this is a long-term plan. This is not a quick getting rich quick. This is not a make money easy and drink cocktail at the beach. This is not this type of business. There's a lot of hard work that needs to be done. Sure, after many years if you set this right and you work really, really hard for many years, sure, you can achieve incredible results. There's people that are doing that, but only after you've done all those things, that's gonna happen, right? And that's why people stay long, because you need to prepare them for all the challenges they're gonna face, because they are gonna face challenge. I'm sure every single one that is here on this call, if you had success, it wasn't just handed to you, right? You had to overcome some challenges, you had to make some sacrifice, you had to work really hard, you had to give up something, right? You had to change something, maybe in your habits, maybe in your routine, maybe in the people that you surround yourself with, right? All of us had to face some types of challenges to achieve what we achieved. And so when you trying to get people into the business, that's what you want to do. You want to prepare them for how the business is going to be, right? Another thing that you want to do is, if you want to attract people that want to do the business, is you need to show them like how hard you're working. If you want to attract people that are work really hard, right? I'm sure if you follow me on social media, you've seen me like always like events, doing demos all around the world, always working really hard and documenting their journey. And that's what you want to do too. You want to document your journey of how you build in the business, so people can see how you build the business, right? I use social media a lot for this. So let me see. Yeah, and obviously you want to, at the beginning of the business, here's another thing that I've done, right? Because at the beginning, like, I was not the leader to lead my team, right? So how can I sign up someone that is better than me and help them succeeding if I don't have the result yet, right? A lot of people, they think, oh, I can't do it because, like, I don't have the skills, I don't have the result, nobody's gonna listen to me. Well, that's exactly what I was at the beginning. So what did I do? I use third party to train my team, right? So instead of me trying to, like, coach my team and all this stuff, I would bring my team in front of the most successful people in the company, right? At Daniel DeMacali's event, Mary Jane, or whoever we're doing the event, and whoever you have locally doing events. I brought my team there, and I let those people train my team. What we used to go to personal development events together, so we can grow together, right, and learn together. Because at the beginning, you don't have those skills, to train your team. So you have to be humble enough to, like, just be the connector and introduce your team to the top people in the company, or the top distributor in your team that are, already having the results, right? And that's what I did. That's what I did. And people ask me all the time, like, how did you, grow such a big team in Italy? Like, all I did, I literally, like, went to every single training that someone successful in this company was doing. I took notes, I translated, and then I brought it back to my team in Italy. But I always edify the person that I learned from. Hey, I learned this from Daniel. I learned this from Colton. I learned this from Cynthia, whatever. This is what they say. This guy's has incredible result, like, and let's apply this and let's do it together, right? That's why, my team always listened to me, because they knew that I was always, like, giving them training from people that were having results, and I was not, like, it was not just, like, my own training, right? And obviously, in the years of doing that, the cool part of this is you're the number one student when you're actually teaching that, right? That's when you really learn something, is when you're teaching that to your team. So my whole life in Enagic, I've been doing, like, learning, applying, teach, repeat. Learning, apply, teach, repeat. And, as you grow, your team grows. You become better, your team grows. You become better, your team grows. You become better, your team grows. That's the game. That's the game. And the moment you stop growing, your team stop growing. I guarantee your team stop growing, right? So you always have to get better. You always have to get better every single day and learn something new. That's what I had for attracting people that do the business. But also, the last thing I want to talk about, more than what you have to do, is understanding how this business works, right? Because we just talk about getting better every single day. Why is that important? Because the better you become, the higher level of people you attract. And so if you don't keep growing, you're not going to attract higher level people. You're always going to attract people that are the same level, pretty much. Sometimes you get lucky, you attract people that are higher, but it's not all the time, right? So every single one of you are like, this is what I've done. Like, I look myself in the mirror, and I said, I start reverse engineering the process, right? Of, like, who's my ideal business builder, right? Someone sharp, someone is an entrepreneur, someone that knows a lot of people, someone that is successful, right? Let's say this is my ideal, someone that is good at sales, someone that has a big network, influencer, whatever you want to, it doesn't matter. Make your ideal business builder, right? So now I start thinking, who do I need to become to attract this person? Because obviously, like, that person is not want to hang out with, like, a broke bus boy that is, like, partying every weekend with his friends, right? Because, like, they're two different levels. So if I want to attract those type of people, I need to become someone they want to do business with. And this is a process that could take years. It's not like overnight. But as long as you know who you need to become, you can start changing things in your life. You can't just wake up and change everything. This is a process, and it's a journey, and you keep changing over the years. I'm always trying to get better every single year because of this reason, because I want to attract always better people into my organization. So, for example, I always think about this way. Let's say you want to attract, like, a Daniel DeMacali or whatever, a top distributor, right? I always think this, like, if that person had a camera on me 24/7, would they do business with me? And they would see everything that I do every single day. Would they do business with me? I know this is a hard question, because most of us are like, I don't want to show them. because then, like, of course they're not going to do business with me, right? So you have to start thinking that way and reverse engineer that process. I'm always thinking like everything that I do all day, someone has a camera on me for 24/7, and based on how I work my business, they decide if they join or not, right? Or if they want to do business with me or not, right? So I reverse engineer that process. Like, would that person want to hang out with me? No. Why? Because I have this habit, and this habit. So I'm gonna change that, and I'm willing to give this up to get, to the place that I want to be in life, right? And sometimes, if you don't let go the old version of yourself, you're not gonna make room for the new version of yourself, right? And you have to be okay for letting go some people, letting go some habits, letting go some things that you've done for a long time that it's not serving you, right? For me, like I had a lot of habits that I need to change. One of this was like going out every week, and I know I was young, but like it's something that I'm like, if that person that I want to attract sees me, would they do business with me? The answer is no, so I'm not gonna do it, right? If that person see me doing this specific thing, would they do business with me? No, then the answer is I'm not gonna do it, right? It's all about who do I need to become, and once you fall in love with that process, this business become fun because you realize as you get better, your business get better. As you grow, your business grow and your team grows, right? And it started becoming fun. It's like I want to grow every single day. I don't want to stop this process, right? And that's the beauty of this business. As I said before, it's not the money that you earn, it's not the success that you have, it's like the person that you become in that process. That is the best part of this business. So that's what I had for attracting people that want to do the business. Some tips that I share with you. Obviously, there's a lot that I can share. But let's talk about also launching the new distributor. Why is that super important? I think this is one of the most important skill in this business is when someone new join your team, how can I help them succeed, right? How can I help them getting started without them having to learn a bunch of things, right? Because and the key to this is having a system that is fear-proof and skill-proof, right? So the new distributor, like if they think like, oh, I have to learn so many things before I can succeed, they're probably not gonna do it, right? So you have to have a system where they can leverage you and your experience, and for them it's like skill-proof and fear-proof. So they don't need to learn skills to start, the business. Of course, as they go, the more skills they learn, and it's gonna take long-term, whatever, but you have to have a system for helping someone getting their first sale as quick as possible. So the system that we use in our team that I've been using that is working really well for many years is very simple. I always do the same exact thing when someone joins my team. Very simple. So the first thing that I do when someone joins my team, I get them a ticket for the next event that we're doing. Whether it's a regional event, your team event, your convention, the company convention, whatever event is the closest event that they actually have to go in person and hang out with the team and learn personal development event, however you want to call it, right? That's the first thing. Why do I do that? Because if you want people, like most people join because of the product and the compensation plan, but they stay because of the community and the value that they get, right? And so I know that event will provide that community and those value for them. And that's why people stay so long with us, because I bring every single new person to the next event. And then we grow together, and then they make a lot of friends, and then they want to stay. Whether they're having results or not, they want to stay because they get so much value from the community. They're always growing. They're always surrounded by people that are motivated, right? So that's the first thing that I do. I get them a ticket to the next event. Number two, if you have like whatever group chat you have with your team, whether it's WhatsApp, Telegram, right? You add them into the chat so they're connected with the team. They know what's going on. They know the events and all that stuff. I'm sure every single team has those type of chats, right? Where people are, where you put people in. And then this is the most important part. I want to make it so simple for the new distributor that they feel like everybody can do it, right? And so what I teach my new distributor when they start is I teach them like 4 or 5 ways on how to approach people, right? How to talk to people, very professional ways. I'm not going to go into that training because it's going to take an hour just for that training, but I teach them how to talk to people, right? Because that's the most important thing, right? The first thing that a distributor needs to do is like talk to their contacts, right? So I teach them like 4 or 5 ways how to talk to people. I teach them how to educate the prospect using videos or third-party tools or a live webinar or a live demo, whatever they have at that moment. They can use all of them. It doesn't matter which one they use, as long as the prospect is seeing the information and is used a third-party tool, right? And I'm going to explain why I use that. And then the third step that I teach them is connect them with me, right? Your job is only talking to people, educating them through videos or however you want to show the information, then connect them with me, right? Because if you look at the Enagic compensation plan, it's designed this way, right? Let's say you're a 6A and this is the 1A making a sale. There's a reason if Enagic pays 1 point to the 1A and 6 points to the 6A. Why do you think is that, right? Because the 6A has more, because it has sold hundreds of machines at least, has way more experience than the new person. So Enagic create this amazing compensation plan where we are so incentivized to help the newest person. And so if they have to do all the work and they make 1 point and you make 6, right? The compensation plan is telling us, make it easy for the new person. Obviously, they still have to take action, but then you do the hard work, right? You talk to their prospects, right? And we call this a three-way call or a three-way group message or a third-party exposure, however you want to call it. This is very important for a few reasons, right? Because like people need to, when they look at your system, they need to think, hey, this looks simple. I think it will work. And I think I can do it. If they think they have to learn skills that they're not capable of, they're not going to take action. And what you want is that you want them to take action without them thinking that they have to learn all those things. And this is our system that we've been using for years, right? How to approach people, send them a video, three-way call, right? And this is also how you have massive duplication. And I know you can do it in so many other ways, but this has worked great for us, right? Because it helps the new person feel like, hey, I don't need to learn a bunch of skills. I don't need to do a like crazy action. I don't need to present, close, nothing. I have tools that do that, and Gio's got my back, right? And so also when they're doing a three-way call, they're learning, right? They're learning also how to talk to a client once they're interested, right? So they take notes, and after you do many three-way calls, some people, they learn after a few calls. I have people that did like 4 or 5 three-way calls. They're already on their own. Obviously, your goal is not to have your whole team depending on you, right? It's just like be there at the beginning as much as you can. And then as you go, you know, they become a little bit more independent, right? Usually I found when like they become a 3A or 4A, they can start doing their calls. And then if they don't succeed, then they can then connect them with us. And then you want to duplicate that process in the team. But also, because I see a lot of people that maybe like they make a lot of sales, but maybe they can't really build a team, because maybe what's working for them, it's working for them, but it's not duplicatable, right? So remember, like also when you're talking to your own prospect, right, the way you help your prospect take the next step, right, will determine if they do the business or not, right? Because they're watching you, right? So basically, when you're helping the prospect taking the next step, maybe getting a machine or getting involved with the business, you're also training them on how to do it, right? And so if they feel like, I can never be like Gio, look, Gio knows everything. He knows everything like about the machine, the place, and all that stuff. Like, I can never be like that. But if Gio send me a video and say, hey, let's get on a call later, like, I can do that. The video will educate me, and then he get me on a call. So like, I can do that, right? So you always want to operate the business the way you want your team to operate the business. And I keep my business very simple, right? I still, even if I know how to present, now I know everything, I still use third-party tools to educate my prospect, and then I get them on a call. And unless they watch the videos, I don't get on the call, right? So that's the system that we've been using for, you know, launching the new distributor, for having massive duplication. So again, if you didn't write down those steps, like this is what we do. Like when someone joined, I get them a ticket for the next event, whatever is the closest event that we do. We do a lot of in-person events with our team. I'm sure some of you saw on social media. We've done a lot of events in Italy. We do a lot of events here in USA. We love getting people together and build a community. So I always get them a ticket for that next event. Then I add them to whatever chats you have in your team. Number 3, I give them the assignment, very, very simple. So we have a 15 minutes video that I created on how to talk to people, how to approach people. Very, very quick video. I send them that. and then another 10 minutes video that explain how to do a three-way call. And I say, I just want to watch those 2 videos and then start talking to your prospects, send them the video and connect them with me, right? That way it's very fast and immediate and they can take action right away, right? Because we know the more time goes by, the less chances we have that they stay, right? So our goal is to help them succeed as quick as possible. And at the beginning, if you look at the compensation plan, you know, we're supposed to do all the hard work for them, right? Because we get paid more than them on their own sales at the beginning. And there's a reason for that, is because you're supposed to help them, right? So that's the system that we're using to having massive duplication. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover today. Let me see if I forgot something. I got a lot of notes right here. Oh yes, this is another one. I have a few more things that I wanted to cover. So we talk about how to attract people that want to do the business, how to launch the new distributor. Now let's talk about also, you know, why the main difference between people that succeed and people that don't succeed. I really like this topic. I learned this like recently from Coach Michael Bird, and he said something that like so true. And he said, like, amateurs listen to their feelings, professionals don't listen to their feelings, right? What does that mean? That basically the difference between people that succeed and people that don't succeed is they take action when they don't want to, when they're tired, when they're not in the mood for it, right? Because we think that it's so easy to take action when you're excited, when you're happy and everything is going right. But the biggest difference is made when you take action when you don't want to do it, right? Like if you look at all the professionals, look at Cristiano Ronaldo, right? One of the best soccer players in the world. Do you think he wants to wake up and train every single day of his life at every hour of the day? Of course not. There's days that is like he doesn't want to do it, but he does it anyway more than everybody else, and that's why he's the best in the world. And the same thing is in our business, right? There's gonna be days where you don't feel like taking that action. You don't feel doing that demo. You don't feel like going to an event. You don't feel doing that. And most people, average people, they're like, I'm just not gonna go to this one. I'm not gonna do them. I'll do it next week, right? But professionals, they do it anyway, no matter what, because they have a standard, right? And so this is one of the biggest difference between people that make it and people that don't. And the hardest part about this is like, we can't really coach people on how to be hungry, right? That's why we always say, like, you know, if you're coachable, willing, and hungry, I can work with you. Because those 3 things I cannot coach, right? I can coach you to be coachable, right? You have to open your doors and be like, okay, if I want to get some types of result, I need to listen to people that already have their results and do it exactly how they did it, right? And if you're not hungry, we can't, for success, we can't be hungry for you, right? I can't wake up and be like, hey, don't you want to take action today, right? It's got to start from you. So those are the things that we cannot coach, right? And the desire to do whatever it takes to achieve the goal, right? So those are the things that I look for people when I look for people in, you know, to join my business. I tell them, as long as you have those 3 things, I can work with you. If you're coachable, if you're willing to do whatever it takes, and if you're hungry for success, because that's your part, right? Everything else we can provide, the tools, the skills, and all that stuff will help you do that, right? Last thing I wanted to talk about, let me see, I have some other notes on my phone too. And Jonah, let me know how we're doing with time. I think we're supposed to end at 6, so like, let me know if I have a few more minutes or if we have to.
You can go ahead and finish up whenever you're ready.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish up with a couple of things, and then we're gonna be done.
Perfect.
So yeah, one of this is another quote that we hear, you know, that we heard many times. Only do what you love, and you will never work a day, right? We heard this like many times. That's not true, right? Because we all know that success comes from the things that you don't want to do and you do them anyway, right? Because doing the things you love is easy, right? There's some part of this business that are fun and are easy to do, but there's some other parts in this business that are very hard to do, that like sometimes you're like, oh, I really don't want to do that, right? But you have to do it, right? And that's what, you know, that's how you build success, right? It's not by only doing the things that you love, but it's also doing things when you don't, the things that you don't want to do, the things that you don't love, right? Because there's a lot of things that, you know, you have to do anyway. Here's another one that I wrote down, that people, you know, we heard this so many times, right? Do for 2 to 5 years, uh, what other people won't do, and you live for the rest of your life how other people can't live, right? We all know that this is not true, right? Because we think like, oh, all I have to do is work hard for 2 to 5 years, and then I can sit and just, enjoy my success. And I always tell people like, show me one person that has done that. I've never met one person, entrepreneur, successful, that only worked 2 years in his life and then he sits and enjoys success and never work again, right? I've been in Enagic for 9 years and I'm still going really hard, right? Obviously, because I love it, but this is also affect how you attract people in the business, right? Because if you promise them like, hey, all you have to do is work hard for a few years and then you relax for the rest of your life, we know that it's not true, right? So we need to prepare people for how the business is gonna be. There's always some types of work that you're gonna have to do, and yes, it will get easier as you get years in and you have a big team and all that stuff, but it's the grind never stops, right? The entrepreneurs are always really working, right? You don't want people to stop working, right? And work. Imagine if you duplicate that in your team. Everybody works for a few years and then they quit. They work for a few years and then they quit, right? Because they expect it to like relax, right? But your business is gonna also stop if you do that, right? I know we have a lot of things that I can talk about, but I hope you guys got enough value. I tried to squeeze everything in this like 45 minutes that I got. I pass it back to you, Jonah. Like, I hope you guys got massive value from this training. I don't know if there's any question that I can answer, or you guys let me know.
Wonderful training. Wonderful training. Thank you, Gio. Hey, everybody heard him. Take action. If you get complacent in your work, it'll definitely affect your overall outcome. And he said that right then. Him as a 6A, he's still going hard, and that attracts people. You get what you put in. If you don't do the work, you can't expect high results. So definitely, I hope all of you took some good notes tonight. If you have any questions, you can definitely always reach out. Keep in mind, we do have one more slide to show you guys coming up for next month on September 9th. We're going to be having our next Zoom call. We have a very, very strong guest for you guys. It's going to teach you some good stuff. But for now, like I said, take action, keep putting in the work. And when you put in the work, the results will show. And that's whether you put it in on the good, what you don't put in is going to show for the bad as well. So what you put in, you're going to get out. But thank you all for joining the call. Thank you, Gio, again. Amazing training. For everybody that signed up for the Zoom call, this will be available to you guys within the next couple of days. So just watch out for your email. But once again, thank you from us here at Enagic USA. Have a good night. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.